much vacation time do they get in Europe these days? In
They
France,
do that
you
in
get like
Canada?
8 weeks.
I think they work on Mondays and Fridays in Canada. The rest of the day. Listen, I got a bone to pick with you. I can't wait for today because we got a lot to cover. We got a mess in Washington, D.C. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. If they oust Mike Johnson and then Trump can't get certified.
Yep, happy then?
Now we got a party.
Yep.
Now it's a party.
Yep.
So we'll tackle that. I want to tell you a great story about the intimacy of what we do for a living every day. I forgot to tell you about this yesterday with my trip to see Dennis Prager in Los Angeles at the hospital. Happened in the airport. But first, I heard you driving in today going over your, the X kerfluffle.
Yes.
And what you said was perfectly legitimate and everything. Your argument is great.
Well, let's tell everybody that there was an independent reporter who was like trolling for the manifesto of the guy who blew up the Cybertruck. It's like, hey, I hear he had a manifesto. If anybody knows about that, tell me about it. If you ever wanted to see the light of day. I'm sick of these idiots. I'm sick of the manifestos. Stop shining the light of publicity on these people. It only encourages other folks. So that was my sentiment. And I was eviscerated by a certain community on Twitter that goes, oh, like I'm trying to shut down coverage of it. I don't want to have anybody censored or say they can't publish it. I just wonder about the efficacy and wisdom of focusing so much on the ravings of these monstrous lunatics. That's all. And I was lit
but
up
that
like
wasn't
a
the
Christmas
only
tree.
evisceration you got. You also got eviscerated. Tell me you're not making the argument that it's okay to say Xmas. Tell me you're not making that point.
Are you kidding me? Are you going to go down that weird rabbit hole?
A weird rabbit hole?
Yes.
You think Xmas is okay?
Do you know that? What's the history of Xmas? What's the history
It's
of that
taking Christ out of Christmas is the history of it.
Mike,
Dopey.
you are focused on
Christ.
an underinformed wave of people who some decades ago who were hyper attentive to listen. I'm all about the war against Christmas, all about it.
You do this sometimes. It makes me crazy.
XMAS has been an approved religious abbreviation for Christmas for centuries.
Approved by who?
I don't know. Churches? You will find in religious documents everywhere the XMAS. The X is the Greek chi, which is the initial consonant of Christos, which is exactly it. So the notion that this, now at some point somebody went, oh, X is an unknown factor. Christ isn't an unknown factor. And I listen, noble intent. I'm all about looking for ways in which Christmas is marginalized. This is not, repeat, not, and never has been one of them.
You know, sometimes you go off the reservation. I think you do it just to troll people. I think you just say, "I'm going." No, you're not accurate. You're taking Christ out of Christmas.
Not at all.
That's what you're doing.
Not at all.
You don't need to go to the 18th century to try to make the case that Xmas is somehow acceptable when we have a problem. We have a problem in our culture with taking Christ out of Christmas. So don't do anything to contribute to it.
Now you know what? Now here's where it gets interesting, and where the whole semi-debate, this whole contrived Mike in his prime debate.
Contrived? No, what's wrong with you?
Because you're just making stuff up.
Take a poll. Take a poll of your audience.
Here's where the whole thing essentially collapses. You know the only reason you and I are having this conversation?
Because you posted Xmas.
And why'd I do that?
I have no idea why you did that, because you lost your mind.
No, character limit on Twitter.
There is no character limit on Twitter anymore.
If you go beyond a certain number, it buries the rest of it, and you can't see the
whole. Well,
I will never go past the 200.
Hey, Mark.
So that was that. And so
how about abbreviating something other than Christ?
I'm not. I don't believe.
Why don't you abbreviate other words?
I always look.
Yeah. Why don't you not abbreviate Christ?
If accuracy matters, and to me it does, the notion that XMAS was some godless conspiratorial way to marginalize.
It's not. It's just a simple.
It never has been. It is. It's complete fake news.
It's not fake news.
And now you are better informed.
You do this. You do this thing where you get into the weeds and say, and people are going to immediately rush to your defense. Oh, it's true. It comes from the 16th century, the Catholic Church.
Can't have that accuracy. Can't have that.
I get it, and it's not accuracy. What's accurate, I don't know that we ever anticipated watching Christ get stripped out of Christmas, the meaning
or going
of Christmas.
to Home Depot and seeing holiday trees. What? I mean,
Yeah,
listen, you and I were warriors locked in arms, and we always will
and
be.
stay in the fight.
I would ask you this. What is an example? Find me, here's homework. Find me an example of anybody who you think in their use of that abbreviation is being dismissive toward Christmas.
I mean,
just find it. It's a total straw man. Find it.
You're not.
You won't find it. You won't find it. It's a tempest in a teapot. And you're
Let me speak, Chatty Cathy. I don't think you're intentionally being dismissive of Christmas. You're as fine a Christian man as I know. You're inadvertently stripping out what Christmas means. Xmas may have some historical significance, but in the culture we're in today, and look, it's getting better. I mean, I think Trump has brought Merry Christmas back.
We have 27 things to talk about. I'm going to make a buddy out of you again. If your point is, and it's a good point, even as historically accurate as I always am, if your point is don't ever miss an opportunity, even if it buries you, don't ever miss an opportunity to type CHRIST. Don't ever miss an opportunity.
That's right. And look, and I'll stipulate you're probably right.
Totally right.
Historically or whatever. But
right.
that's so kind of. I don't know, but look,
arcane.
Well, it's just I don't know. Let's just agree that Merry Christmas is back. It's great to celebrate the season, and we forget. And like you said, any chance you get. Now let's get down to business.
Yes.
First of all, with Granny Clampett there in New Orleans, and you know that her big thing when she's not standing there, not even acknowledging that she knew they had sidewalk barriers available in New Orleans. This is how incompetent she is. But her big thing, she teaches DEI to fellow officers. That's her big thing. I mean, this is what happened. This is a product of diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know, you mentioned that the FBI's assistant guy that they brought in, he's right out of central casting. They took one look at Nose Ring and they said, get her out of there. And put in the guy, the big burly bald guy that can talk like an FBI agent.
Yeah, can talk, period. Exactly.
Well, we found multiple devices I mean, my goodness. And the nose ring. I mean, and the nose ring gets to me only because somebody sent me, I had an FBI agent, an active FBI agent, send me their policy. They prohibit it. So what do? Waive it for her because they don't want to make the young woman mad?
It would be racist.
What? Yeah, don't be racist. Don't be racist. So it just frustrates the heck out of me. Meanwhile, I saw Tyrus on Fox yesterday say the real aggravating thing to him was that they had spent millions supposedly in security in New Orleans. And how did that work out? However, every time something like this happens, you know what cities do? They start putting up like barricades everywhere.
Right.
They start putting up, and you can't prevent evildoers from committing acts of evil. You're going to barricade off all the cities. Nobody's going to be able to walk or drive anywhere because you're trying to protect. It's like putting nets under bridges because people are going to jump off the bridge. You can't stop bad people from doing bad things. You just got to hope that you've got an awareness. Your head's got to be on a swivel. I mean, it's just.
I mean, you're as right as you are. I mean, you're right. But does that mean that you just kind of go, well, hey, they tried? Because I think that the 2020 hindsight will find that New Orleans absolutely dropped several balls. You shouldn't be able to that easily.
Obviously,
motor a truck down Bourbon Street. You just shouldn't be able to do that. You're 100% right. I think Bush 43 used this about terrorism. He said, we have to be successful in stopping it 100% of the time. All they have to do is be successful once. So
the one time they get through, then we say, oh, it's a massive failure on our part.
Except this one might have been. Except I think this one kind of was.
Well, especially because there's reporting that there were already briefings a year or two ago that Bourbon Street was particularly vulnerable.
And you know what the thing was on the calendar, the glowing thing on the calendar they were looking at the Superdome coming up in a couple of months, Super Bowl, or next month, Super Bowl. It's like, but somehow the same number of people in the same stadium yesterday did not warrant a beefing up of security in time for that, which is also attached to what's that little holiday? Oh yeah, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Yeah, yeah. So, and look, there's also reporting now that Axios is reporting on concerns about the inauguration. There's a part of me that wishes Trump did the inauguration inside somewhere, safe. You know, I worry about...
Don't the terrorists win?
Well, we already changed the date of the Sugar Bowl. Yeah. I mean, you know, like you said. And by the way, the timing, I know you were frustrated by why they played it yesterday at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. I think wasn't it because of the second game? There was another game last
which is
night.
Stupid because you had to have Duke and Ole Miss. How about you make everybody in Jacksonville move their schedules rather than people who are coming to a game with the national impact? Okay, so the inauguration will be on the west front of the Capitol, as it used to be on the east front. Now it has been on the west front for a few decades now. I'd say that's a deeply, deeply secure area. Every rooftop, unlike Butler, PA, I don't think anybody's going to take Trump out as his hand is on the Bible. But funny thing. And you know what? Can Monday, can you and I talk about Jimmy Carter? Because I'm going to spend some time, which we did not get a chance to do. He passed away while we were both away. A legacy of a man of much personal virtue, wrong on virtually every policy, and both can be true at the same time. Anyway, though, Carter, I believe, was the first to get out of the limo and walk Pennsylvania Avenue. And everybody went, wow, man of the people, that's awesome. I said that, and I just finished voting against him in my first election ever. I think Trump did it in 2017,
Trump did it,
right?
He did it, sure did.
And I'm here to tell you, Pennsylvania Avenue locked down hard. I would love to think there is no way anybody can squeeze off a shot at Trump or Melania walking that 1.5 miles of Pennsylvania Avenue. But are we confident enough about it?
Not.
So no, let's not move the inauguration indoors.
No, but don't be walking down Pennsylvania.
See, I want him. It'd be the most Trumpian thing in the world to walk it again. And
I don't want to put anything bad out of the universe, but let me end with a cool story about the intimacy of what we do. So I'm in LA and I'm flying back after visiting with Dennis in the hospital, and I'm in the lounge at LAX. And a guy comes up to me. I'm sitting there minding my own business. I had talked to the people working in the lounge a little bit. And a guy comes up to me and says, pardon me, I don't mean to bother you, but are you Mike Gallagher? I said, yeah, hi, how are you? And he goes, I knew it was you. And it was the coolest thing he said. I had no idea what you looked like. I've never seen you before. I recognized your voice. And I thought, that's like the third or fourth time. Has that ever happened to you before?
All the time, you bet.
That's the strangest thing to me. I don't think I'd recognize anybody by their voice.
Well, but unless it's somebody you listen to, sure, unless it's somebody you listen to on the radio every day.
Well, and he did. Sure. Well, anyhow, so we talked for 15 minutes. Great guy, nice guy. He's off to Cabo, you know, with his fiance, and I asked him in the course of the conversation, "What do you do?" He goes, well, I work in the film business. I thought, well, sure, it's Hollywood, Los Angeles, whatever he works in. So then I get back to that 5 minutes into the conversation. Mark, he is the co-chairman and co-founder of one of the biggest movie studios in the world.
Wow.
I almost, and I like a schoolboy, I'm like Googling him after the. Oh, yeah.
That's wonderful.
It was the coolest thing, and I was telling Hewitt about it a couple weeks ago. He says, yeah, you forget that, like, famous people do listen to us.
Absolutely.
He told the story of Clint Eastwood being a fan of Hughes, you know, and so it's Kelsey Grammer I met once who said, oh, Mike, I listen to you. It's neat, but this guy is like a big deal. So anyway, it's kind of neat. It's a sidebar that he's famous in the movie industry, but what I think is really special is that somebody can recognize you by your voice.
Absolutely.
You know, and we just forget how intimate our medium is and how people relate. And of course, now with Salem News Channel, our faces are plastered everywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does somebody not know what you look like?
He did. He said, "I've never." He was in L.A. and you know, it was the funniest story because he said, "I've never seen you before." Yeah. I thought, okay, well, great. But that was just the coolest thing. I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you. So let's pray that Speaker John. Look. I'm going to quickly say, both sides of an argument need to be listened to.
Yep.
There's merit in the pushback against Mike Johnson,
but ultimately,
I don't want to discount it. On the other hand, how about we be unified in January?
You can't beat something with nothing. If there are flaws in Mike Johnson, and there are, Okay, but is there somebody with no flaws that can actually get the sufficient number of votes? If not, how about everybody shut up and
That's
let's
right.
get this guy speakerfied so that we can do things like certify the election in a couple of days.
Yeah, let's not have that blow up. Look, and the Democrats are just chomping at the bit, hoping we have a bloodbath today, and we don't need it. Can we just be unified? 2 more weeks of unity.
Exactly.
Give us 3 weeks of unity. That's it. Then go fight in February, okay? Can we just get through January? All right, Mr. Xmas. Happy.
I'm
love you too. Merry Xmas.
I'm just trying to get through a segment without you tearing me to pieces. I love
Merry Xmas. I love you too. Have a great weekend.
Xmas to you, Mike.